Is it possible to learn music as an adult? Today, I don't want to talk too much about theory. I just want to share with you some stories of my students. In my career, I have taught a lot of adult students. In my opinion, those adult music students are one of the best in the society. They devote their time and the money to the hobby. They don't cause trouble. They don't waste their money on any unnecessary stuff. The first story is about a young female professional. This student signed up my music lesson during the COVID time, and she wanted to do the vocal lesson. As you know, during COVID time, there are a lot of lockdowns here. In order to make it more convenient or more safe, we had online lesson. Lots of people do not know if they can learn something through online lesson. The reality is that lots of people, including kids, are really good at doing online lessons. You'll be surprised that some of them actually learn much better online than in person. So this young female student told me that she's never learned any music before. She doesn't know how to read music. She doesn't know any other instruments. For the singing lesson, it's a little bit different from the piano lesson, because usually those people who come to do the singing lesson honestly are adults. And then a lot of them are like this. They don't have ideas about music, and they didn't have any experience in learning instrument. Maybe some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them learned instrument, and some of them were in band. Most of the adult students who sign up for music lessons usually don't know music that much. They don't have ideas about music theory, but some of them, I will talk about students like this in the future. Some of them know how to read the notes. Some of them know how to play guitar. Some of them know piano, or they are even working as a sound engineer. I will talk about this kind of student in the future. So she's a beginner adult student. I have lists of songs for adult students to learn to sing. These songs has different levels, different keys. I adjust them accordingly. A lot of adult students, when they start learning to sing, they are not able to be on pitch, even if I play piano to try to correct the pitch. But this female student is very capable of doing that. She can follow everything that I told her. And since she's very capable and she was learning quite fast, so I told her it's better if you learn how to read. Before, when I started this career, I was quite strict on students. I always want them to be able to read the notes. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to teach them. But as I have more and more students and more experience, I know that I try to be nicer. So I accept some students who cannot read the music. But anyways, I told her it's better if you can read the notes. It will help you. So I gave her a page of piano music book that I told her we can study this, and I explained to her how to read the notes. After 1 week, she was able to recognize the notes. I was surprised because usually it takes some time, especially for adults. So she was able to, because she wanted. I believe that if you wanted to do something, you can do it. And then I told her, if you want to correct your own pitch, because now she just follow whatever I play. She doesn't know the notes. Now she can read the notes, but she doesn't have the idea of the notes. She doesn't know how G sound like, how the note E sound like, or how the note C sound like. So I told her it's better that if you can help yourself by correcting your own pitch. I told her how to use the virtual piano in GarageBand. I remember she was using Mac, so I showed her, I walked her through it. I told her how she could use the virtual piano to help her to sing. Next week, she was able to, and I told her, can you please show me how you play and sing at the same time? She was able to. She just exactly the same note. Of course, I still need to tell her those notes which she's not too familiar with. But anyway, she was able to. And then she told me she decided that she wanted to buy a keyboard. She wanted to seriously learn to sing. And she asked for my advice. So next week, again, she got a keyboard from online, and then she started to play the piano and sing at the same time. So it's very funny because not only I was teaching her how to sing, but I taught her how to play piano. For example, like an octave, how she has to play her finger to help the octave. When I started to learn to sing, I remember the first song that I learned was Calo Mio Bene, the Italian song, because my parents like strict teacher anyways. I didn't have too many easier songs to learn. I didn't have too much choice. I was forced to learn Calo Mio Bene in Italian anyway. But when I started teaching, of course, I had to adjust, right? So usually I started with some English songs, easier songs to memorize. When they are in some certain level, I started to tell them that we can learn songs in different languages. So I gave her songs in Italian. Of course, we learned a lot of famous Italian songs for vocal students. She was able to, and she catches up everything. And one day she told me that she wanted to show her grandmom. Her grandmom is in a country in Europe and speaking another language. And that language, I never learned that language before. So she told me that she wanted me to instruct her to sing the song, and she would do the language. So I told her how to sing, and then she does the language by herself. And then she told me that she wanted to show her grandma how much she has been learning in doing the vocal lesson, because her grandma always wanted her to speak their language. But since she grew up in Canada, right, it's a little bit difficult, but she tried her best. And then she showed me the video. She recorded herself. She told me that she sent this as a Christmas gift to her grandma. The grandma was really happy. This student impressed me a lot, because typically you wouldn't believe that adults will be able to read the notes. Even for kids, it will take some time to learn to read the music notes. For her, it's just a week time. And she was able to do the garage band, and she was able to play the piano and sing at the same time. Of course, she was not able to play the accompaniment yet, but at least she can play some notes. And then she was serious about learning this. And she didn't have any experience. You feel a lot of fulfillment by teaching such a student. She was able to give a priceless gift to her grandma. Such gift is much better than you send money overseas or you give an expensive bag with jewelry. This is priceless. It shows that she did spend time on doing everything. She not only learned how to sing, how to play a little bit piano, but she was also able to pick up the language that her grandmom speaks. I really appreciate this student. This is how music should be. This is how people should treat their hobbies. And the second story is also about a young male adult student, and that was before COVID time, so we were able to do the in-person lesson. This student was really polite as well. Like I said, almost all my students are really polite. He didn't tell me what he wanted to do with music. He just told me that I have to instruct him everything to make him a better singer. So I did. He also took quite long lessons. And then something happened, so he had to take a break. He came back later anyways. This student's the same. Always on time, always try his best to memorize a song, to do whatever I told him to do. So before he take his break, he said he wanted to tell me that music changes him a lot, because before he was hanging out with a group of not very good people. So except smoking, drinking, they did something else that I prefer not to say here. And then he said because he started to learn music, to learn singing, he has the reason to reject all these bad friends before, to tell them, sorry, I can't do it because now I'm doing singing. This will damage my vocal cord or whatever the reason. Yeah, this surprised me. I didn't know that he was, involving with something not very good, because he does not appear to me like that kind of person. So, see, music can change someone as well. The last one of today is about this adult student. He's a bit older. He probably almost retired. The first thing he told me after he signed up the vocal lesson, he said he just wanted to feel confident in singing. He wants to feel comfortable to sing in front of people. He told me that he had to work, and he also went to school, and we also surprised to find out that he went to the same university as to get master's as me. He took a little bit shorter lesson because I think his paper was due or something. But anyways, that was not short, but not compared to the rest of two students, it was a little bit short. I really respect students like this, who works and study at the same time, and he just wanted to fulfill his dreams to get a master's degree even when he has a very busy working schedule. And I just remember he also does everything I told him to do, like all kinds of exercise. So when we finished the last lesson, he thanked me. He thinks that he's more confident about himself in singing because he knows the right technique to sing. A lot of adults are afraid that they cannot do the music lesson because they have a busy schedule, they have to work, or they have to take care of the family. This is true. This is real. And also, you have to spend some money as well on this. But It is not impossible. Some adults are afraid that they cannot learn as good as younger kids, but from what I have seen, it's not true. Of course, it's better if you can start learning music when you are in a younger age. That's the time that you can memorize everything better. But as an adult student, if you want to, you can learn a lot. Just like I said about the first story I shared with you, this female student, it just depending on how much you want to get this skill. And it all depending on how much you want to devote your time to this. You don't have to make this a career, but at least music can make you a better person. That's for sure. Just like my second story. No, these adult students actually teach me a lot as well. They told me their life stories and what they have been through. They're great people. Very, like, I teach them music, but they teach me more